The sun was brutal that Saturday afternoon in suburban Dallas. Sweat clung to everything, and the only sounds were distant lawnmowers and the occasional bark of a dog. On her front porch, Meredith Langley sat stiffly in a white rocking chair, binoculars on the wicker table beside her lemonade. At 61, she considered herself the moral compass of Crestwood Lane. Unofficially, of course, she knew who came, who went, whose kids ran wild, and whose grass grew past HOA regulation. It was from that very porch she saw her. A woman stretched out beside the pool at the corner house, the old McKinley property that had sold just 3 weeks ago. Meredith hadn't seen any movers, no neighbors being introduced, no block-wide email announcement. And yet there she was. Black, mid-40s, athletic build, dark green one-piece swimsuit, hair pulled into a neat puff, reading a novel like she belonged. Meredith's nose crinkled. The audacity to sunbathe without so much as a hello? No casseroles exchanged? No HOA registration email? Her fingers reached for her phone. She squinted at the lounging figure again. Her instincts screamed this was wrong. And when Meredith's instincts spoke, she listened. With a click, she dialed the non-emergency line. Collin County Dispatch. Yes, I'm calling from Crestwood Lane. There's a woman at the McKinley house above the pool. I don't believe she lives there. Can you describe her, ma'am? Meredith hesitated, then said quietly, black, around 40s, wearing a swimsuit. Just acting too casual. Any signs of forced entry? Not that I can see, but the gate might have been left open. You just never know. The dispatcher thanked her and sent a squad car. Meredith smiled faintly. If the woman was innocent, she'd be cleared. But Meredith knew her neighborhood. And this wasn't it. Exactly 8 minutes later, 2 police cruisers rolled down Crestwood. Meredith stood up and pretended to be watering her hibiscus. Officers got out, spoke briefly to her, then slipped through the side gate, which, as it turned out, was unlocked. The woman, now identified as Harper Daniels, remained poised. She set her drink down and calmly removed her sunglasses. When asked for ID, she didn't flinch. She stood, walked to her tote, unzipped a leather case, and revealed a badge. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Deputy Director. The taller officer blinked and stepped back. Harper looked at both men. I bought this house 3 weeks ago. I've been working nonstop prepping for Senate hearings in D.C. This is my first quiet afternoon in months. And now I'm being questioned because someone decided I don't look like I belong. The younger officer stammered an apology. Harper nodded once and returned to her lounge chair. Next time, she said, maybe ask yourself if you'd knock on the gate if I looked different. The officers left. Meredith, still standing on her porch, watched their expressions. No chit-chat. No gratitude for her civic duty. Just grim silence. Her stomach dropped. Something felt off. Later that evening, the block's Facebook group exploded. A blurry photo posted from behind a fence showed Harper flashing her badge. The caption read, "When the new neighbor outranks your assumptions." Comments poured in. You called the cops on the FBI? Yikes. Peak Crestwood behavior. So embarrassing. Meredith shut her laptop. Heart pounding. She hadn't meant for it to go viral. She was just trying to protect the neighborhood. Right? The next afternoon, Harper knocked on her door. No anger in her eyes. Just quiet steel. I figured we should talk face to face, she said. Meredith opened the door halfway. I didn't know. No, you didn't. And I didn't come to shame you. Harper said. I've lived through enough of that. But you need to know next time it might not be someone with a badge. It might be a kid. Or a stranger. Just existing. And your fear could put them in real danger. Meredith swallowed hard. Harper turned to leave. Until I return to D.C. I'd like to enjoy my backyard without binoculars pointed at me. The door shut. Meredith didn't move. 2 days later, Officer Hughes returned. We log all calls. MS. Langley. False reports, especially those with patterns, can be flagged for investigation. Harassment. Profiling. That kind of thing. Meredith nodded mutely. Her hands trembled. By Friday, Harper sent a block-wide invite. Neighborhood meet and greet. Music. Snacks. Bring a chair. Meredith didn't RSVP. But Saturday came, and she stood at her door with a plate of lemon cookies. Eventually, she crossed the street. Harper met her with a measured smile. I made these, Meredith said. Thank you, Harper replied, accepting the plate. Meredith's voice was shaky. I had a lot of excuses. None of them were good. Harper nodded, acknowledging it as a start. They stood together under the shade, watching kids run through sprinklers and neighbors chat freely. Meredith, for once, just listened. Because the truth hit hard. Neighborhoods aren't safer when you call the cops on peace. They're safer when you understand it. And for the first time, Meredith wasn't watching. She was learning.